Hey guys, Artosis here, and welcome back to the MoonLight Pro League. We are in the Winners League game number 2. We had Motive take down HM in that first game, so of course he stays on, and you can see him here at 12 o'clock on Neo Sylphid. And over here in the bottom left, probably the strongest player overall playing in this particular match, it's BarrackS, this guy in ASL absolutely every season, starting to do really well in it also. Let's see what he can get done. I mean, he's the type of player that could end up sweeping here. Who knows? Now, thank you, everyone, for checking out ArtosisCasts. Please do make sure that you subscribe. Excuse me. Sorry, I do have a little bit of a cold. I feel like it's just that time of year, right? Just moved to Canada. All the kids are in school. And I feel like I've had a head cold, man, for an entire month at this point. So, very sorry about any little coughs or throat clearing that you're going to hear here. But I think I'm finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, so should be clear-voiced pretty soon. All right. So, yeah. Sylphid, Protoss versus Terran. It looks like it is going to be a gateway opener. Nexus first, relatively common here, but let's see if Motive wants to get heavily aggressive. Now, one of the things about Neo Sylphid, right? There's three things that are hard about it in Terran versus Protoss, and then there's a couple things that are hard about it for Protoss versus Terran. So for Terran versus Protoss, everything's flat in the early game, right? You have this little choke, and it has an egg here, and then you have like just a flat natural. So if Protoss wants to be aggressive and do like Zealot Dragoon and put a lot of pressure on, if you screw up at all, you don't have a ramp you can go up, right? If you have a ramp, you can kind of hold on against anything very easily. But if you don't, you really have to be very precise in your micro, keep your units alive, right? Like have the right amount of units if Protoss is trying to push into you. So that's kind of the first little skill tester there for Terran. Now that's what we're kind of looking for. There's no Zealot being made, so not really something that BarrackS needs to worry about. Now the second part would be you have to be a little bit careful about Reaver play. This is a map where your main base is not on a high ground, right? We just mentioned that. But the other thing that makes, look, we have this wall here, and you can't see outside of it. So when Reavers come in, they come in suddenly. This is a huge difference. It may not seem to an observer like a huge difference, but let me tell you, when you're playing, when you're on a raised main and you see a Reaver, like let's say that this is a raised main, you'd see the Reaver coming in here as opposed to here. And that makes all the difference in the world. Also, there's a lot of surface area. Your main is not in a corner on this map. All three mains have higher surface area than any base on a 4-player map. So when you put those two things together, Reaver play very, very strong. Definitely something that you can expect. But in fact, it's so expected sometimes it's a good mind game not to go for that. So those are kind of the early game things that we are going to be looking at. Now, this opener is 2 depots, 4 Marines, and a Vulture. He should be making a command center probably pretty quickly here. You can see 26 of 26 at the moment. I'm actually surprised he did this with 2 depot because he is going to be supply blocked for a while. Now, goes ahead, cancels an SCV, starts the command center. You're completely safe here as BarrackS. So this is a well-known opener. Sometimes you do it with 3 Marines, though, and you got to get that depot up afterwards, and then you're going to be going directly into a bunker, very likely. Over on the side of Motive, he is going for that very quick robotics. Has that Dragoon range almost done, and only 2 Dragoons. In fact, scouting with a Dragoon around the map. And, ooh, a starport coming up. Okay, so this can be really interesting. It's a very quick starport, so this is one where you can get a drop ship to your opponent's base before an observer gets to yours. But if it's very quick Reaver, what can happen is you're trying to drop Vultures on your opponent when he's trying to drop a Reaver on you. And that can be a little bit tough for Terran. The Reaver has a lot of potential and doesn't have to be micro quite as heavily as the Vultures do for that damage. But you can make a Wraith to kill the shuttle off. So there's like a lot of back and forth as far as the decisions go. Now, second gateway coming up. We'll see if it's going to be an observatory or Reaver tech right away. Does he start a shuttle instantly? These are the big questions that we're looking at. 3 Dragoons just pounding away at this bunker. He does have to repair it with 1 more. Oh my god, he almost let that die. You have to be careful about that. If the debunker dies here, you actually lose the game. And it actually was like about 2 seconds from dying. But he does have 4 SCVs on. This is going to repair right up, and then he'll reduce to 3 SCVs unless a 4th goon comes, which it looks like it is. There is a vulture out here with mine, so it looks like he wants to lay a mine trap behind here on the goons. And that'll make it hard for the goons to actually get out. Now, there is the Reaver tech, and there is a shuttle on the way. So Reaver drop going to be incoming very, very quickly. The single siege tank has a little bit of a hard time against these 4 Dragoons. 4 Dragoons 2-shot a tank. So if you overextend, you can lose the tank very quickly. All the goons need is the first shot, and then they right-click and get the second shot. That's why he was microing it underneath the barracks there. And in fact, he's going to go back to underneath the barracks. I think it is a better idea because it's much harder to click on the tank. Very, very good tactics here. But good pressure from Motive so far. Now, the dropship is coming. Speed on the way. Mines are already out. And in fact, he's coming out and trying to push them into the mines. I can't believe it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, literally dodges by a millimeter. The mine triggering off and killing at least 1 goon. All right, so good job on him. We have the drop going across. The shuttle is ready. The Reaver just popped out. The Reaver is actually going to be very good defense against the Vultures. Reavers do one-shot Vultures unless they're running away. And here we go. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He doesn't notice. So this could be really good damage. We don't have a Wraith on the way, just to throw that out there. Single Vulture at the front. He is getting some decent probe kills so far. Definitely decent probe kills, but this is going to be dangerous. Wraith on the way. Here comes the Reaver. And he triggers that mine, picks it off, gonna start killing the front. Oh my God, this is so dirty right now. Look at this. A ton of probes are going down, but this is more sustainable damage coming out of Motive right now. A single siege tank, siege mode, not even halfway done, since he did get the speed upgrade for those Vultures. And see, this is kind of the problem. Like, the Vultures need to be microed heavily. They are dead. 16 probes only left. But can you actually hold on? Like, this might actually end up killing. The Wraith gets picked off. The Reaver's still alive. 3 goons still alive. A tank is going to pop out, but 1 tank doesn't even come close to killing all this. Look at that. A huge Scarab goes off. The tank, ooh, nice micro here on both sides, really. The tank does take a big shot right there. SCVs being popped left and right. A lot being sacrificed here. And you can see that worker count, man, is dropping. He dropped the Protoss to 16 workers, but now suddenly down to 13 himself. Another Wraith is on the way, and the Wraith can probably clear everything, but now 9 SCVs. I have to say, right now, this is no longer winnable. Like, the Wraith will clear this when it comes out. Oh, God. Beautiful move. But there's just nothing you can do. Like, you can't produce. You can't make enough units for an attack. He's literally going to be sitting here on 3 units. A tank, a Marine, a Wraith. I guess you could count the dropship. But look at this. 3 Nexuses for Motive. The game is super duper over. Like, no real way out of it. And, you know, this is kind of the funny thing that happens when these two builds hit each other, right? The very quick Reaver drop versus the very quick Reaver drop. If it's Observer into Reaver, you have plenty of time to prepare. But when it's that quick, when the Reavers come into your base just after your Vulture drop hits, and believe me, that's like the quickest Vulture drop with Expand you can do, man, it's so painful. You don't have a lot there. So another attack coming in right now from Motive. He should be able to just win this. 1 tank. I mean, the goons on attack move with the Observer basically clear all this, and then you have, you know, the added bonus of the Reaver coming out. So, I'm gonna go ahead, drop the goon to drag the mine, and there goes the Reaver, and that is gonna be that. I'm certain that we should have a GG here in a moment. The damage is just too high. GG, and Motive wins another.